All right, all right, all right. Thank you for coming this morning, joining me on my journey towards Proverbs 12, 18, and 19 in the ESV. And yeah, it is cold this morning. Do you know that? Do you know that it costs a lot of money to keep your house warm, especially if your house is not the house that insulates very well? I don't know if what your monthly utility bills are, but our gas bill, was it gas bill or electric bill? It was our electric bill. Our electric bill was $700. $700. This is the most we've ever spent on an electric bill. There's a couple things. It could be because we've been having the heater on a lot because it's been very cold recently, and we're not even in winter time yet. What the heck? And not exactly. Our autumn is really cold. And the other thing we were thinking about is like, okay, our garage has been really cold. I don't know if this is a thing. It could be a thing, but our water heater is in the garage and it's really cold in the garage. So does that mean that the water heater has to work extra hard to make sure that the water in there is hot and so it's constantly burning or something? But that is that electric or is that gas? I don't know. Whatever the case, it's we're using a lot of energy to create heat in our house. And so we have to pick and choose when we have our air going on. So that's just a thing. Anyways, whatever the case, I'm here now. You're here now. If you're joining me right now or later in the day or in the evening, whatever the case, you could come in back and see this little video to go ahead and be encouraged, hopefully, while we're journeying through the Proverbs. Dun dun dun. So let's get right to it. All right. We're in day 75, Proverbs 12, 18 through 19 in the ESV. There is one whose rash words are like sword thrusts, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. So here's what I'm going to do. I started this the other day. I don't know why I was doing it. Oh, you know what? There's another day I didn't record because I was so tired. But what I did was do an initial recording and just to practice dictating my thoughts and putting it on paper. So I actually got like uh 750, 760 words um of text by just me talking. And and so here I got all this text right here. So I like to look at commentaries, so I look at commentaries and stuff like that, but I wanted to do not look at commentaries before I say anything and see how much what I first initially thought of while looking at the verses versus what the commentary says. And so and to see how well they align. There's some nuances and stuff like that, and the commentary is a little they've been studying stuff like that. So there's a couple things I do take out and stuff from there when I do my talk here. But yeah, this is all raw. So I'm kind of considering whether I should just post my initial thoughts on on the description. So I might do that later. Put my thoughts just straight out of my mouth. This is blah. This is what I think of the verses. It's kind of like what I do right here, but I like to do unfiltered, unfettered, not looking at any commentary first look, without looking at any commentaries and kind of understanding specific words or histories of words, whatever it is I'm doing in my Bible study when I do this. But let's go ahead and go over this. Proverbs 18, Proverbs 12, 18 through 19 in the ESV. There is one whose rash words are like sword thrusts, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. Now, these verses are near and dear to my heart. And this is something I did not say in my initial talk because you kind of say stuff and then you go ahead and kind of articulate and kind of process what you said. And what I realize is that these verses really talk to me. And these are things that I'm really trying to get my children and students to kind of work on is the things they say. and the words of their mouth, because the words of your mouth are really important, because this is the way in which people can interact and relate to you. Other than doing actions, you could do actions and kind of play basketball with someone, oh, he's pretty cool, play it. But when you start saying stuff, oh, that really reveals a lot about you. And so let's go ahead and go over this. And these are, there's one who's rash words, and then the tongue of the wise. Okay. Truthful lips and a lying tongue are like the sword thrusts. Brings healing and endures forever and is but for a moment. Okay. So, purple. So what I got out of this is pretty interesting. I firmly believe that the words of your mouth are the most important thing that you should be taking care of in your life. First and foremost, next to being healthy and taking care of your body. Okay. Is that let me think of this. Words are first, actions second. Um, there's another thing. Words first, action when people are trying to get to know you. Words and actions, maybe they go hand in hand. Maybe they're both the same. Like words and actions. I don't know. You could go ahead and comment on those words and actions idea, but it's really high up there. It's really high up there. The way you say stuff. Let's just say, for instance, you are introducing yourself for the first time to someone. And I guess your body positioning and the way you carry yourself, like physically, then yeah, that kind of has kind of a say. You go to a place and do work, for instance. People could say that you're a good worker and everything like that, but they don't really know you until you open your mouth. Once you open your mouth, whether you are reacting or something or initiating something, responding to something, like those words that come in your mouth can be life-giving or destructive. That's basically how it is. Your tone of voice, your intention, everything is all about things that come out of your, like those things come out of your mouth. People could tell whether you're joking or something like that. And so that is really important. And so specifically for this verse, the rash words, these are words that come into your mouth on anger, without thinking, and you just say things. You're reacting emotionally, whatever the case, it just comes out. It's like Tourette's. You just say some random crap. I want to say some uh, negative words, whatever. Those literally are destructive words, and your mouth is able to do such things. You say something to someone, and you could go ahead and destroy someone, um, make them rethink their life choices, whatever the case. Your words are like jabs of sword thrusts, and they can hurt, they can cut, and they can kill. And so that's basically what they're saying. That's why it's so important, and it's near to my heart is important, is how you say things is so important. Okay. Because the contrast is too true too, because not only do words kill, but it also could heal. And that's what it's saying in the second part of verse 18. The wise tongue brings healing. And so when the words that come in your mouth, you actually learn how to do the words of inflection of showing care in your words, that you really care about a person's how they are feeling. If they are hurt, you can, oh, are you okay? Oh, what's wrong? Like you learn how to say those kind of things, not in a uh, deceptive, creepy way, but in a way that's really showing sympathy and kindness and concern and love. You could really show love for other person by the words you say and the way you say it. And so that's really important to kind of be able to get those abilities, which I myself am learning to do. I've been learning it all my life. I'm older now. I may not look old, but in 20 years, when I look at this video again, I'll be like, oh man, I was old back then and I'm old now. Maybe I'll look the same with more wrinkles. I don't know, in grayer hair. I do have some gray hair. There's some gray hair coming. This is truth, by the way. I'm not lying. I actually plucked the one gray hair or two, one gray hair that was kind of coming out and doing the gray hair thing, like right here. I plucked it out and it came back. And now I have like two. So is that true with that little, what is it? Urban legend? Is that an urban legend? I don't know. That if you pluck one gray, a couple more come out. So I don't know if that's true. I think it's kind of cool that there's one gray hair, but when people look at me in IRL, you see it and it's kind of like, oh, but no one really said anything yet because they don't really pay attention. But I do. I do. I see it because I see my face every day in the mirror. And that's the way it is. And when I look in the mirror and I'm looking back at myself, what do I see? Am I happy with what I'm seeing? I hope so. I hope so. I'm pretty happy. Yeah. Anyways, so look at camera, look at the screen, look camera, screen. And so yeah, that first verse 18, yeah, definitely about your words, really important, especially when you're interacting with other people because it could destroy yourself, it could destroy other people, but it could also heal yourself and heal other people because your words are encouraging, words are life giving, your words are important. Whatever you say is important. Don't mince like um don't underestimate the power of your words. Let's just say that. Don't underestimate the power of your words. Let's go back. And this one is there's oh yeah, yeah. And the thing about your words is your words shape living. Literally. Words shape living. Whether it's going to be good living or bad living. It's just the way it is. Words shape living. Yeah, that's the phrase I got from the commentary. Words shape living. It's just the way it is. Verse 19, truthful lips endure forever, and lying tongue is but for a moment. And yeah, I got this right off the bat. And when I did my initial looking for it. And that is so true. When you say the truth is the truth. It just is what it is. And it just persists forever. Whether you're dead or not, the words that you say and the things that you said, if they are true, they will last forever. They will kind of persist beyond yourself and it persists with other people too. So if I say, I live in a house, who in the world can dispute that? I am living in a house. That is a truth. I am sitting here right now talking to you. Well, that's kind of a truth because you're you're watching a video if you're watching this of a time when I was talking about this mm, in the past. So I'm not actually talking to you right now, but maybe I'm resonating right now in the present because what I'm saying right now is like truth. I have spoken to you right now, and if anybody ever looks at this video in the future, they will see that. And so truth endures forever. The sun always rises. We're living on land. We breathe air. See, those there's some things that are like truths. Can I say that there are two genders, men and women, biologically? That's there's no it's that's the truth. And the way God created us was so that we could have relations with each other and procreate. And that's why they have man and woman, because when a man and woman lie together and they perform the physical act of sex, um, the possibility is with sperms and eggs and stuff like that and growing babies, yeah, it's in a biological woman's body that they have babies. So they have this thing where it's like male and female or woman and man. I'm not too big on the distinction. I'm just thinking biologically. So if you identify as something else, you could go ahead and do that. But biologically, there are men and female. Okay, male and female. That's how I feel, and I think that's a truth. You can't get away from that. Um, and it endures forever. The other thing is, but if you are lying, that does not last forever. And the idea that I brought across in when I did my first initial one is in Matthew. I think it's Matthew 6. Maybe it's 7. I think it's Matthew 6 or 7. Anyways, Matthew 6 or 7 talks about building your house on the sand versus building your house on the rock. The building your house on the rock, that lasts for a long time, forever, if you build a house on the rock. When you build your house on the sand, that's that could stand up. We have tents and stuff that could go on sand and stuff like that. People build their house on the sand. But the intention is when the rain and snow and weather and stuff come about, that thing could get destroyed. And that's the thing about lying is that it doesn't last forever because eventually someone or something will find out. When you're standing for God, yeah, he'll call you out on your lies if you're trying to hide it. And so you have to recognize that you did lie. Hopefully you recognize that you did lie and that there will be a reckoning for that. And so a lying tongue only lasts a moment. And that's the interesting thing. Truth is forever. Lying isn't forever because you know in the end that, oh, that's not true. And so this is where your the words are build legacy. Here's the other phrase that I got. Shape legacy. Your words shape legacy. So what kind of legacy are you having? A legacy of lying or a legacy of truth? And you'll know that truth last forever, while lying will eventually be found out, and then you'll be embarrassed or people won't trust you and stuff like that. And again, the lying tongue is like rash words. They're like sword thrusts. And basically, what they're doing is you're destroying people. You're destroying yourself. You're destroying others. And I know it's really hard and everything. Hard. But think about truthful lips. It doesn't mean that you don't have hardships or anything like that. It's just that you're able to handle the truth. Well, accepting the truth is really hard, but you could be the truth giver and people may hate you for a little bit, but some people just need to hear it. And don't be afraid to say what's on your heart and speaking the truth. And so, but the lying tongue, you're kind of going around the truth and avoiding the truth. And so the lying, it'll be called out and it's just worse later on. So the advice would be like, just say the truth so that you could go ahead and continue to grow and heal yourself, heal other people through the truth. Because I guess truth brings healing, even if it's a truth that you don't want to hear. Anyways, that's all I got for this morning. I hope you learned something and your words shape lives, your lives, other people's lives, and your words shape the legacy of how you will be remembered or when you pass on. Because you will eventually. That's one truth too that you can't get rid of, the truth of the ultimate destination, which is death. It happens. So how are you living in this life before that time comes? That's how it is. And hopefully you leave a legacy that speaks the truth in love, speaks the truth that heals, because those things last forever. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. Hope you learned something, enjoyed our time together, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Supposed to do that. This. Hmm. I'll remember this. This recording streaming thing. Still learning. And I wanted to do like a little song after this. Anyways, take it easy, guys.